Shalom guys, today on this episode we will do things a little differently. Let's start off with the truth and then we will discuss the falsehood. So I'm going to tell you a few things about the sin of wasting seed. What I will do is provide a few sources for this, and then we will move on to show Muhammad the false prophet committed this sin and show some evidence of that. Okay, so this sin originates from Genesis chapter 38 verse 9. This talks about the marriage between Onan and Tamar. Onan would wickedly and purposefully waste his seed on the ground as he did not want to get his wife Tamar pregnant. Now let's look what Shulchan Aruch says. It is prohibited to spill seed needlessly, and this sin is more severe than all Torah transgressions. For this reason, a man should not thresh inside and sprinkle his seed outside of a woman. Those who commit adultery with their hand and thereby cause semen to be spilled, it is not enough that this is a great prohibition, but the one who does so should sit in excommunication, and about them it is said their hands are full of blood, and it is as if they have killed a person. This is a quote directly from Shulchan Aruch. Now let's look at how severe this prohibition is. The prohibition of spilling seed needlessly is very severe, and according to the Zohar, it is the worst of all sins in the Torah. We can learn about its severity from our sages' words in the Talmud and in the Zohar and in the rest of the books. And so it's stated in Hazal and in the books of the great Jewish sages, whoever emits semen in vain, it is as though as he sheds blood. They also say that someone who wastes semen is like an idol worshipper and like one who brings a flood to the world, and he is considered as an animal and deserving of death. The Ari Akadosh says that this sin is responsible for the length of the Galus and delays the redemption of Mashiach. The founder of Chabad says in his book, the Tanya, severe is this sin, spilling semen needlessly, and it's worse than extramarital relationships, for it increases impurity more than with the prohibited relationships. Okay, so what happens to a person who does commit this sin? His children will die while infants, or they become evil sinners and he becomes poor. And some Kabbalists say that everything bad reaches him, and the word fortune or luck in Hebrew is used for this. Okay, now let's look at how this false prophet violated the Torah. Okay, so the Abdul reported, I stayed in the house of Aisha and had a wet dream. So I dipped both the clothes in water. This act of mine was watched by a maidservant of Aisha, and she informed her. She sent me a message. What prompted you to act like this with your clothes? He said. I told that I saw in a wet dream what a sleeper sees, and she said, did you find any mark on your clothes? I said no. She said, had you found anything, you should have washed it. In case I found something on the garment of the messenger of the fake God dried up, I scraped it off with my nails. Abdul reported Aisha as saying, I used to scrape off the semen from the garment of the messenger of Allah. This one seems just to be the same as the first one, so yeah. Although this one is not related to the prohibition of wasting seed, I just want to include it because it shows how disgusting these people are. Abdul narrated from Ikramiyah, one of the wives of the Prophet, that went to the Prophet, wanted to engage in intimacy while she was menstruating. He would put a piece of cloth over her private parts. So back to our topic. If you would ask any Muslim, they will all say yes, there's no prohibition on mutual masturbation between a couple in Islam. This is absolutely permissible, halal. Okay, so I found another hadith that advocates for the waste of seed. This is the hadith of this Abdul named Jabir ibn Abdullah, may the false God be pleased with him, who said, we used to engage in courteous interruptus at the time of the Messenger of Allah. News of that reached the Messenger of Allah, and he did not forbid us to do that. This is narrated by Al-Bukhari 250 and Muslim 160. There are many sources in Islam of Muhammad allowing the waste of seed, but I won't go through all of them as we don't have enough time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and share and like.